Welcome back, guys. Welcome to getting your Raspberry Pi up and running as a web server. We're going to be implementing nginx as the web server here, and then also implementing PHP into our pages. And later we're going to be able to get it online.
I wanted to bring up, there's a particular error. It seems common for the HDMI output. You have to go into your config files in the Raspberry Pi SD card. If you have an issue with your HDMI not getting output from the Raspberry Pi, let me know below in the comments if you have problems with that. I can make a video on that.
Alright, you guys, so I'm going to leave a link in the description. This tutorial that I found for installing the nginx on the Raspberry Pi is really useful. There were things that I wasn't able to find here that I found out I needed after. It's a basic getting start point, so I'm going to be just going through this, but I'll leave a link in the description. So first what you're going to want to do is open up a terminal. Let me drag it over, okay. And then we're going to be typing here sudo apt update, just to make sure everything is updated. That's what that command does. Sudo has to do with making sure that you have permissions to do it. So sudo apt install nginx. Simple as that. Do you want to continue? Press Y and then enter to say yes, we want to continue, and wait a while, and it's installed. Congratulations, nginx is installed. Our next command here is sudo etc init.d nginx start, and that's going to start nginx. And it says nginx started. So now what you're going to want to do is find out what your IP address is. So what you want to do is type in here ifconfig. This is going to give you your private IP address of your Raspberry Pi. So mine is right here. I'm going to copy that. We are going to paste that into our browser, and you should see this page. Welcome to nginx. If you see this page, you have an nginx web server or whatnot. Congratulations, guys. This is the bare minimum step. Obviously, you're going to want to make this into a URL. So we're going to work through more of that. But first, a few things about nginx that are important to go through. So one thing you're going to want to probably do, sudo apt install at php-fpm. If you're not familiar with web development, PHP is a very important part in web development. You don't need to use it, but it's a server language, so it allows your front end to talk to your back end in website design, such as if you want to send information to the server, such as a username and password. php-fpm is used by Linux to run PHP and get that process running. Alright, now we're going to go into cd etc/nginx. By the way, etc has a lot of your programs stored there, so we're going into a folder. That's what cd means, into the nginx folder. And then we're going to write inside of it. So we're going to say sudo nano. Nano is a program to write in Linux. Sites enabled. Default. This is the name of the file. It's in the sites enabled folder, and it's called default. So now we're going to look for index.html, index.htm, and then this nginx db in HTML. So what this is it's telling your server what formats to look for when it's trying to run in order to open them. So if it doesn't see something like this, then
it's not going to open it. And as you might know in web development, index.html is always the main file that is opened up when you're inside of a folder. So for example, if I'm on www.cats.com, well, there's going to be many files inside of there, but the only one that it's going to look for in order that it's going to reference all the other files is called index.html or index.htm. And this one right here I think is just associated with what is there now. You never really use it, so we're gonna keep it though because I might be wrong. So anyways, we're gonna add index.php, and what that's gonna tell it is if you see an index.php file, then you can run that first. If not, go to index.html. If not, go to index.htm, and so on. I'll take you through a little bit of this because understanding nginx is a key critical part to understanding how to maintain your server. So you always start with a server block in order to create a server, and you can create multiple servers. This particular one is listening on a port, and that port is called port 80, and that's going to be the default server for that port. HTTP is run on port 80, while HTTPS is usually run on port 443. That's why this is commented out. So if you want to secure your website, then you're going to do some stuff with port 443. This next one is root, and it is telling you where it's grabbing all of your server files. This is the root. So mine is inside of var www html. So when you create your website, you're going to, let me just show you. This is being read right here, this file. So let's open it up with a program editor, Genie. Genie's alright. And here's your raw HTML file. If you want me to go through some web development code such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I'd be more than happy to. Just let me know if you are interested in that, guys. So as you can see, we're saying welcome to nginx. If you see this page, blah 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 blah, and we do see that in our browser, right? Welcome to nginx. We see this page, blah. So here's where this root is where you're gonna put all of your website stuff. So let's go back here. This is where it's pulling it. Okay, this next one we talked about. It says what format of files to look for. The server name is not super important, so I'm gonna call it, my website is Math Tutor Time. So now the location is where within the root you're looking for, and try files. This money URI is actually the same as URL, so it's saying go to the URL, and if not, then look inside of the folder of that URL, see if you see anything. If not, then produce a 404 error if you don't see anything at all. So we're going to edit some of this stuff. Now I'm going to comment this out, and this is associated with the location that is looking for PHP files. So it says, hey, if you see anything with a .php, then run this stuff, and this stuff is associated with your PHP server, which is actually another server in itself, and this is telling it where to run it. It's running on the port 9000, and that's where my PHP server is. So it's a different port, as you notice, from my HTTP server. It's a different server in itself, and you cannot run both on the same port. We're done, so we want to save. So you're going to hold Control and press O, and it says, do you want to write this to the file, meaning overwrite it? And we say enter, and that tells it yes, we do. Enter. Now we're going to click Control, hold Control, and then press X to get out of there. There's one additional error that we want to remove when we try to run PHP. If you try to run your server, you're going to have an access denied error most likely, and so we're going to fix that. you want to go into your php-fpm. So you're gonna cd etc php 7.3 as of when I'm making this video is the newest version /fpm, to cd into pool.d, which is within that, and then we're gonna sudo nano www.conf, and in nano, in order to find a word, we're looking for security.limit.extensions. So to find, you're gonna hold Control, press W, and it says search. You're gonna put security. Actually, we can just say security.limit should find it right there, and then enter, and there it is. Now you're gonna see something like this with a semicolon. You're gonna want to backspace that semicolon. That will remove the comment. And then what you probably will see is something like this, just a bunch of PHP. You want to add HTML to that, so that says when you see an HTML, it'll still try to parse through it and look for PHP. Now you're going to do Control O, enter, Control X, and now you want to restart PHP. So the command to that is service php and then 7.3-fpm as this version is right now, and then space restart, enter that, put in your password. Raspberry is the default. I changed a few others. Alright, so you're going to want to get rid of the first location block, and we put them together in one by putting in parentheses PHP, vertical line HTML, vertical line HTM. That includes the different formats in one. Add fast CGI params of script file name and path info variables, so I'll put that in the description. Include fast CGI params, and then get rid of fast CGI pass. The server name, you don't really have to pay attention to that since the server name doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, there should be a star right here. I didn't have a star before, so location, that, tilde, star, and then this stuff. Alright, I'm gonna reload. Last year. Alright, I'm gonna insert some PHP in here just to make sure PHP is actually working. Go to var www.html, open her up. Oops. Open her up. Okay. Left, I don't know, arrow, question mark, PHP, echo. Hi. Bye. Close that off. Close PHP off. Alright, well, obviously my genie has no freaking idea what PHP is. Let's see. There it is. We know PHP is working. Alright, homies, I'm going to close this video off, and then we're going to create a new video for getting your site to work with a SSL certificate. If you guys want to check out how to get this online, then I can create a video on that. Let me know that you're interested in it, because it's probably important to the whole reason you want a website server. There is a point of doing it locally. If you want to do some smart home stuff, you can create a cool server just to do smart home stuff within your own local IP addresses. But if you want to get your website online, then we can do a tutorial. Just let me know if you're interested. Thanks, guys.